And so, once again, the day is saved, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.
Blossom, commander and the leader. Bubbles, she is the joy and the laughter. Buttercup, when she's the toughest fighter. Powerpuff save the day, fighting crime.
20 years ago, in 2005, a certain show came to an end after a 7-year run from 1998. This was the Powerpuff Girls, a show that I'm pretty sure you're familiar with, considering you probably grew up with it. Now, this isn't a complete overview of the show as a whole, but if you'd like to see that as a video one day, yeah, you know what to do. Anyway, if we went over the original, we'd be here all day, so why am I making this video then? If you've been around the internet lately, then you know about the trailer for the cancelled live-action reboot that was leaked, and no shit, everybody fucking hated it. Especially me. Now, I'm not a Powerpuff Girls mega fan, those people are on a certain list, but I can tell when something I enjoyed gets rebooted or goes through a new light, and those in charge of it just go in a direction that completely misses the point of the original creator. And I know there's nothing wrong with taking a new approach towards an existing property, but when you're claiming to be as good, if not something better or the same as the source material, then that's when I gotta say, you're missing the point.
Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born! Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil!
To put it brief, the original Powerpuff Girls was the brainchild of young Craig McCracken.
What do you do?
I make cartoons. I make the Powerpuff Girls about these three little kindergarten-age superheroes who fly around and beat up bad guys.
Oh. Let's see the clip.
That's great!
And premiered in November of 1998 on the now-deceased Cartoon Network. And if you know anything about 90s Cartoon Network shows...
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit.
But yeah, it was at the time the SpongeBob of Cartoon Network, and for the first 4 seasons, the crew came out with timeless episode after timeless episode, with a simple concept. What if seemingly harmless little girls had superpowers in a rough edge world? Who can forget classic episodes like the time Bubbles commits animal abuse?
Oh, Bubbles, have mercy.
Mercy is for the weak.
The one where a pedophile kidnaps them for his collection.
Let me be the first to introduce you to my collection permanently.
The one about feminism. And of course...
That'll be $7.95, please.
Say what?
But wait, I said the first 4 seasons. What happened to seasons 5 and 6? Well, by then McCracken had his sights working on his new show, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, leaving storyboard artist and eventual Outhouse creator, the now controversial Chris Savino, in charge. So how were those episodes? Memorable, but you can tell the difference in writing comparing to when McCracken was at the helm. But, like anything that managed to show traction for a company, the corporate side will always find a way to maximize sales and profits. Video games, toys, clothes, etc. You know how SpongeBob is still going on for 25 years? Well, Powerpuff Girls almost met the same fate, as Cartoon Network showed interest in trying to keep the show as long as they could.
At a certain point, Cartoon Network came to us and said, well, what about 7? What about a 7th season? And Chris and I both said, no, I think it's time. It's over with. It had its run. It kind of ran its course. And we would hate to continue making a show when we're just kind of hitting the same notes and repeating ourselves. And we wanted to kind of go out while it still was good.
So by March 25th, 2005, the Powerpuff Girls officially ended its run. Years went on, and there were a few things about the show that came and went. It premiered on Boomerang in 2009. The CGI special Dance Pants premiered in 2014 for the 15th anniversary, but no involvement of Craig McCracken, as he was at Disney working on Wander Over Yonder.
The Powerpuff Girls superhero dolls with eye laser action.
We're the Powerpuff Girls.
Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Those oh-so-sassy superheroes with super blazing laser beams. Bad guys, brace yourselves for a blackout. No villain can outlast their atomic laser blast. You go, girls.
Prepare to get stung. Let's go save people and stuff. Move out.
Way to go, girls. You saved the day. Powerpuff Girls superhero dolls, each sold separately.
It's the mid-2010s, and the landscape of entertainment has changed from the days of the original 98's run. There's a lot of properties being rebooted, and unfortunately Powerpuff Girls was not safe.
Powerpuff Girls fighting
In 2016, Cartoon Network announced the reboot of the original Powerpuff Girls. Some people were excited to see these characters again, and some people were pissed off, especially when they knew the voices of the original trio weren't being reprised and Craig McCracken wasn't involved. But was the 2016 reboot good?
No.
It was an awful, awful mess. Something that a lot of people agreed was basically nothing like the original show. So remember how I mentioned that the original was basically about harmless little girls saving the world in a rough-edge world? Remember how cool and violent it was and how clever the writing was? Well, fuck you, the reboot did none of that. Instead of having a hilariously made epic fight scene like this, you get
Cute ribbons. Ooh, glitter. Scrapbooking is so awesome. Yeah!
Dude, it's Sloppy Joe Tuesday!
instead of hilariously written humor like this,
Hello, Mayor. Are you sure? Really? Really? Oh, okay, we're on it. Is he pulling our leg again? No, this time it's serious. It's him. You mean the evilest of evil? The cruelest of cruel? The mayor wouldn't joke about this one. Come on, let's go!
Get your legs all the way around.
Hello, girls. What a pleasant surprise. Ooh, what's the occasion?
We were wondering...
How I stay so fit? Well, now you know.
No, actually, did you do anything evil today?
No, not today. Why do you ask?
No reason, just wondering.
This figure doesn't come easy, you know. I took a little time off to get into shape.
So, you haven't been...
Nope.
Okay, I guess we'll see you later.
I guess you will.
Okay, bye then.
Goodbye, girls. Come back soon. Goodbye.
you get
Oh, we're like little candy penguins.
And we're riding on a rainbow.
Yeah, I've never met someone like you.
I trust your motives through and through.
You see the problem? It's now seemingly harmless little girls in a seemingly harmless looking world. Everything's so round. Where's the contrast? Where's the violence? Where's the funny? Remember this scene?
What's going on here? What? Huh? Oh, what, you going for something? You going for that? No. You want some more, man? You do? No. Yeah?
But I don't need to tell you how terrible this shitty reboot that has underage girls twerking is. The internet did that almost 10 years ago. God, I'm getting old. But if you're curious, go watch an episode of the original. It can be an old episode from season 1. Then watch any episode from the reboot and get back to me and tell me which aged like fine wine and which one aged like milk. You know what? If you have kids, get them involved too. But enough about shitty animated reboots, let's talk about shitty live-action reboots. So in 2020 it was announced that the Powerpuff Girls was getting a live-action reboot by CW, and there were obviously mixed feelings about it. Once again, Craig McCracken wasn't involved with this one. So instead of them being kindergartners, as we've seen them before, they're in their 20s trying to figure out their lives from years of being superheroes, and that sounds neat. We got our casts. Not bad, but it's been 5 years. What happened? Nothing. The show was cancelled due to apparent scheduling issues with the cast, and nothing really stuck in terms of story, and basically, the world just stopped caring. Until 2025, where a lot of unfinished and cancelled projects were leaked, including the trailer for this reboot. Well, okay, let's give it a watch.
A few moments later.
What the f was that?
Wow. That was pretty bad. And this is exactly what I was talking about before. What does this trailer have to do with the Powerpuff Girls? Again, nothing. It's your typical trying to be edgy and raunchy show that gives me 2010's YouTube parody vibes. So instead of the characters we know and love, we get Blossom with anxiety, Bubbles is the dumb blonde, and of course, Buttercup is the sassy one. And I don't even know what they were going with the professor here. Honestly, race swapping doesn't even matter to me. But I think a lot of people and I agree that he's Asian, especially with that whole Samurai Jack theory. I think that even the reboot was trying to push for that too. Worst of all, their nemesis, Mojo Jojo, isn't even a monkey. He's not even one character. He's a father and son duo called Mojo and Jojo. Why? You couldn't even get a guy in a monkey suit. For God's sakes, Dragon Ball Evolution did it in 2009. So, do they fight crime and do things like coming to terms with their powers or trying to move away from the image that they had for years? No, they hang out. That Jojo kid grows up and some random girl shows up. They frame the professor. I don't even know what this is. If they actually gave a shit, this would actually be salvageable, and let me explain. So we all know about that superhero show that talks about a young person dealing with powers and the consequences and responsibility that come with those powers, right?
That guy.
Okay, but all jokes aside, I honestly think if they wanted to do a good live-action Powerpuff Girls series, I think what we got in the spirit of Invincible would be the best approach. Not necessarily an overly violent show, but something in the sense of, what if the Powerpuff Girls had consequences for their actions? If you watch the original show, you'd get the idea that the show was an overall parody of how superheroes are treated after causing millions in property damage.
Thank you for destroying that evil giant fish balloon, but you also destroyed my beautiful city! Yeah!
So yeah, it's funny when you see the aforementioned formula of seemingly harmless girls in a rough edge world. But what if you changed it to the perspective of the rough edge world? Show how they see the seemingly harmless girls, and yeah, you can make them adults, make it take place years after the original series, and the citizens have grown tired of the immense damage caused by both the girls and their villains, and they lost support of those who've loved them, and hell, you can even keep that JoJo character and make him original. I mean, it's possible you can have the old mayor die and have him take over as he's the Lex Luthor type of the town and basically has more support from them than the girls. It's not perfect, but it's better than whatever the fuck we got here. As a matter of fact, if you want a dark retelling of the Powerpuff Girls, watch the 2002 movie. It tells their origin story, it's full of violence, destruction, and the realistic depictions of superheroes, even a full reach of Mojo Jojo's origin story. And this was 2002! The MCU and DCU weren't even around yet. Invincible issue 1 didn't come out till 2003. And yes, even Craig McCracken said he would make some changes.
The city of Townsville. But enough about that.
But if you're someone out there who wants to go for a dramatic approach to the simple concept of seemingly harmless little girls in a rough edge world, you gotta find something that works and makes sense, not twerking and outdated lingo, and especially not trying to be relatable to the young peoples, but rather stick to the formula and see how you can evolve from it. I mean, if you've gone so far, McCracken's coming back for another go. But besides that, if this keeps up, we're just gonna keep missing the point.
And so... yeah.